Great day, everyone. Happy to be here with you all. Say, listen, I want to go ahead and just say, go ahead and grab a pen and paper. And by the way, go ahead and share and like, because here's the reason why. This is a time. And by the way, Trisetta, hi. First off, hi to you. I'm
Hey,
all just jumping right on in and let me. How are
listen, we
you
roll
doing?
with it. We roll with it.
Yes, I'm punching already through this mic and wanting everybody to come in and just get all chilled and didn't even acknowledge you, my friends.
Oh,
Forgive
it's
me.
all right. It's all right. Good morning or good
Yes,
afternoon or whatever time. I have no idea what time it is. So,
yes. So, beautiful people, go ahead and share this because it's definitely going to be worth your time as well. You want to park here for at least about 15, 20 minutes. My goal and our goal is to help annihilating you to unleash and unlock some of these boundaries that you're looking to break so that you can now start to grow and be more aware as to what are the areas in your life or in your career that you're looking to pursue. But for now, are you ready? We're going to laser zoom in because here's the truth. We're wrapping up 2022, and it's no point. It doesn't even serve me at times because I'm pretty sure Trisetta can also assess. And if for whatever reason, before I even go into that, if you don't know, if this is your first time coming in and you're just popping in and you're wondering who is this, who are these women, these gals in my news feed, I'll go ahead and give you the spill real quick. I'm Ruth Mack. I've taken mid-level professionals, preferably in HR, who struggles with marketing their skills online and looking for ways to stand out as a top authority so they can start magnetizing those premium companies their way effortlessly. So, Trisetta, go ahead and share what you do. So, for those who
sure.
just chiming in,
Sure. So, I am Trisetta Anel Washington, life balance coach and productivity consultant. I partner with executives, entrepreneurs, and busy professionals to help them have it all without sacrificing the things that matter most to them. It's what I like to call balanced ambition. And we're going to be having a really great conversation today about
yes.
how you can break those, share some new rules to positioning yourself for a promotion. But we want to do that in a way that serves you, where you're not stressed out, burned out, overwhelmed, and all the things. So,
I love it. So you all need to go ahead and grab a pen and paper because what we're going to lay down, we're going to lay it down nice and green as a fresh cut grass in the springtime. So because here's the truth. All this delaying, I've been talking about getting getting from stuck to unstuck for the last 9 days. This is definitely going to be a pretty much the cherry on the top when we're working with you all on what ways are we going to be able to channel in and champion ways to positioning yourself to get promotions. Go ahead, Trisetta.
well, so let me give you a little bit of a backstory. I Every single place where I have been employed, I have been promoted, or if not promoted, had multiple position changes.
Mm.
So I know what I'm talking about here. I just want to put that out there. I'm not. This is not what I heard. Right? These are things. These are things that I personally have noticed that set me apart from other people to position me to be able to get those promotions or to get the attention of decision makers when it comes to job job hunting. Right? The very first thing is to be a resource.
Mm.
So many people, we've all gotten those calls or those emails
Yes.
where someone is asking you about something and it has nothing to do with what you do and it's not part of your job and you probably don't even have any clue what they're even talking about. And the typical response is, you know what, that I'm not sure about that. I don't know anything about that. That's not part of my department or that's not part
Right.
of my role. um,
Mm-hmm.
but one of the things that set me apart from other people was that I would say, you know what, I'm not sure about that, but let me find out for you. And
That's
I would take people's, their name and number, or, whether it's the email or whatnot, and I would seek out the information for them and then come back and say, hey, here's what I found out. Or if I couldn't get back to them in the time that I told them I would come back and say, hey, I haven't forgotten you. I'm still working on that. Right. And so what
I like
happens
that.
is when you become a resource like that, people start coming to you
Mhm.
or they know that they can come to you for information.
That's good. I like that a lot because here's the truth. Go ahead and put in the comments if this is an area that you struggle. You like, well, whatever's in my job description, that's my wheelhouse. That's my lane, and I'm going to stick to that. However, if you're wanting to position yourself to stand apart, think about what ways can you add additional support where others do not want to, where others find it to be, kicking a rubber tire, where they don't want to do that. Not to say that you're wanting to sacrifice, but you want to make a decision. And it sort of is like a sacrifice because you're making a determination of shifting what behavior pattern you've been doing already. And you're seeing there's no outcome or result. Now you're being more intentional, right? And now you're going to go ahead and make a list, topping it off of what Trissetta just said, being a key value resource. I would challenge you in saying, well, what areas in my department is lacking? Maybe collecting or maybe collaborating with your peers to saying, I noticed that in our monday.com projects, there's a couple of tasks that's running over from last week to the next Monday. Is there any areas that I can support you on? And then collaborating collectively. So that way it's publicly being announced that you're showcasing yourself as a supporter. Don't make it be in private all the time, even when you're having a team meeting. Hey, you all, I know we're all busy right now. For example, I just noticed that, hey, John Doe, or hey, Sammy, is there any areas that you're looking for support? I'm happy to chime in and we can talk offline after the team meeting. And I'm more than happy to see what ways can I help champion some of this. This will showcase your leadership. Number one, it'll showcase your collaboration and your will of extending that olive branch, that it's not all about what's in your plate, but also tilting your hat over to see how you can serve others. Let me know. Go ahead and put a one in the comment, or let me know that this is definitely an area that it's super helpful. You've never done it, or you had an idea of doing it, just wasn't sure how. But you leveraging this, I too have done this in my past work. And even now, when I'm collaborating with different partners, you want to be able to show up as a servant. How can you be a key service provider, right?
Yeah, Ruth, you tapped into another one of the thoughts that I jotted down before our chat, which is to anticipate needs, right? You talked about, looking and seeing where the gaps are in your department. If you can anticipate the needs, especially of your supervisor or your department in general, or additional leadership within your company or your department, if you can anticipate their needs ahead of time, then you will then become invaluable to them. They will start to look at you as not only that resource that we started off with, but they will also start to look at you as a leader, like Ruth was just sharing just a moment ago. So start looking for ways that you can be of additional service within your organization. Or if you see a problem, or you see a breakdown in a process, and look for ways to bridge that gap, right? To break down that bottleneck, or to fix the slowdown, come up with a solution and bring it to the attention and say, hey, I noticed that we're having this particular bottleneck as it relates to this project. Here are a couple ways that we could solve that. As a former supervisor, I mean, I still supervise, I have a VA, but as a supervisor, as a manager, I like my employees to come to me, not just come to me with a problem, but also come with some potential solutions.
Absolutely.
So I don't have to come up with everything, because I believe that all of our team members have value to add to the team. And I'm not the only one that has good ideas. I'm not the only one that's a problem solver. And so I want to see that in my employees.
I agree, and to even not only that, sometimes we got to be in the right state of mind in order to even say, you know what, Trissetta and Ruth is onto something. I haven't even considered what is my lack or limitation when it comes to promoting myself. I wasn't aware that there's areas that I can showcase within my current role. It's not always having to look outside the doors of your organization. Maybe perhaps in collaboration with other departments, being a protege or a mentor to certain areas of others who you know has the potential, and you've been there, you've pretty much been there maybe 5-10 years already in the game, and then now you're wanting to see what areas is in lack, maybe showing up as that leadership to help develop other leaders within that department, showcasing a skill set that you're really, really good at. Like what number one skill that you have that can do a full outcome or a huge outcome, if you will, in your department, in your current role. What is that huge outcome? And the second part on what I'm sharing is, what is the shortest way you can get to that outcome, and delivering it with your team or delivering it within that resource of coming out of that department and seeing what other areas are in lack, but you have a primary skill that can help carve out some of that time and money to helping them get back stabilized. Is this helpful? Is this beneficial for you? Go ahead and comment below and let us know that you know what, this is definitely something that you're going to want to take action, and start by writing a letter to yourself, like identifying what exactly are the gaps, what areas can I help serve in parallel. Make a decision now and stop causing so much friction and delaying or postponing. Well, I'll just do it next year, or I'll just do it next week, or I'll just do it the next time, right?
Absolutely. I want to add a little bullet point there too. This is not only, this particular one is not only good for positioning yourself for promotion, but it's also great for positioning yourself to negotiate a salary increase.
Ooh, yes. Who's ready to talk about that? Because I know if the way we're living today, if the chances are, and keep in mind, anything that's happening outside of you that is out of your control is out of your control. But what you can do is stem on who would like or who would love some nuggets on how to be able to stem in on increasing your salary and how to be able to navigate through that, right?
Right. So, and even, we all think about the money part, right? Like the salary, but it also, maybe it's not in the budget, and it's not in the budget for them to do major salary increases. You can also leverage it to create that balanced ambition, right? So maybe you can negotiate for some remote work, or maybe you can negotiate for a particular, maybe a particular resource that's going to be beneficial to you to help you create more balance in your life.
I agree. Who's willing to challenge themselves? Because sometimes I know it takes courage, and it takes confidence. Most important, it takes clarity before you go even showcasing, areas of negotiating. You want to be able to come in there with a certain energy, right? Who can appreciate having to maybe set a time with their leader, their supervisor, their boss, however you want to describe them, and your energy is off. Chances are I wouldn't even coordinate a time, right? Would you agree, Trissetta? I wouldn't schedule a time to discuss ways on how I can help still be a value add, but looking for ways on how I can help be compensated or rewarded within my current position. But the question you want to ask yourself is, am I in the right headspace mentally? Am I having that mental attitude that, oh, he's not going to, or he or she's not going to approve it? Me working from home, I'm already coming in 5 times a week, working 10 plus 12 hours a day, and having to ask, can I just peel maybe 2 days out the week to do so? They're going to say, well, we need you in the office, or so you're creating all this perception versus thinking, what if we talked about this earlier, the what if scenarios, positioning yourself to say, no, let me go ahead and close my eyes, build on this thought process, actually visualize it, how I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate and open this conversation, this dialogue, right? Who's ready to do that? Give yourself permission today.
Yeah, I love that. Give yourself permission. I love that. Yeah. I think the last thing that I personally want to bring to this conversation is building relationships, right? So when and we started out talking about being a resource, through being a resource that helps you to build relationships. And I think we've talked about this a couple times in this series about how the majority of positions are gotten through relationship. It's not through a cold job posting. It is through, someone who know someone, right? And they've referred
Right.
you, or you happen to know the person who is the hiring manager, or whatever the case may be. It's important for you to have relationships. And they say it all the time. People say it all the time. Your network is your net worth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important. So think about the people that you would like to build relationships with, who and not just from the perspective of what can I get from them.
Come park right there, because a lot of people, I get it, we all have selfish tendencies, but oftentimes if you just park yourself to the side just for a few moments and think of the other person. It's better to give than to what? Than to receive.
But if you give, you will receive.
I like that.
Because everything has, I can't remember, I think, is it Newton's law? Everything has an opposite and equal reaction.
Yes.
Right. So whatever you put out comes back to you. Now, it may not necessarily come from that person. Right. And I think that's where we kind of miss it, is that we'll try to build a relationship with someone and do all these things thinking that we're going to get from them. But what happens is it doesn't necessarily come through that avenue. But we're still sowing seed. We're still going to reap. It just may not come in the form that you wanted, that you expected it to. So just be very conscientious about building relationships and being strategic in how you manage relationships within the workplace. You don't want to be the person who's known for the office gossip. You don't want to be known as the complainer, right? You want to be known as that resource. You want to be known as the problem solver. You want to be known as a leader, right? So in doing that, you need to show up in relationships, in your professional relationships and personal relationships, as the type of person someone would look to promote.
I like that. And who may be feeling that, you know what, Ruth, all of this, what you all are saying, Trisetta is saying as well. How do one even initiate or even start in getting support? I mean, I get it. Considering that we are these service providers, leaders, we do help, several dozens of our clients achieve some of these. Even if it's not working with us, you want to be able to at least initiate and start disrupting whatever you've done in the past. Up until now, you want to go ahead and start creating a plan. Like, what exactly am I worth in terms of my skill set? And how can I align that to getting a promotion and giving yourself some sort of timeline? So if you're wanting some support, go ahead and put in the comments. Like, you know what? I definitely would love a roadmap on how to be able to expand on what I'm just hearing today in terms of getting that promotion. What are the crystal clear steps that I can definitely execute? What we shared with you is definitely a great starting point, right? Definitely a great starting point in starting as going out there, leveraging yourself as a resource, going and even above that to see what areas are needed, what areas are in lack, and what areas you can actually showcase and provide a true outcome in a very short period. And then finally, being able to see what you just shared, as far as making sure that you're able to connect, building those really key relationships. Maybe checking out what's already in your network. Maybe it's part of a association that you're maybe involved in, or perhaps within your organization. You have to do things that others are not willing to do, my friend.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So let us know if this is super helpful for you. And if this is beneficial, let us know. We would love to hear from you. I personally, myself and Trisetta, will go into the comments and we'll go ahead and reply and collaborate, and then give you all any insight that's going to expand and help supporting you and accelerating that needle and pulling it further. What I would like to close off with you all is, here's the truth. Whatever you're doing with your hands today, whatever you are doing with it today, do it with all your might, all your strength, and all your power. And staying consistent in doing so, you will reap the rewards with the right intention behind it and the right emotion that comes with it. Yes?
Absolutely.
All right. Have an amazing day, peoples. Thank you all for chiming in. Go ahead and again, click like and share. Let us know if this is truly beneficial. And meanwhile, have an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.
Bye for now.